各位 Imprestreet 的观众朋友们，大家好，我是 Roy， 欢迎来到最新一期的内容。今天呢，我们要讲的就是我身后的这台 V8 5.0 性能猛兽 Lexus RC F。那这台车呢，是我一个很好的朋友 Wes 所拥有的车，他呢做了一点小小的改装，让这台车开起来更加具有性能味。那么因为 Wes 呢是韩国人，他不会说中文，所以我们今天这一期就会是英文特别节目，我在底下都会列中文字幕供大家参考。那我们现在就来欢迎这台车的车主吧。Hello Wes, how's it going?
Good.
All right. So, what's your reason behind choosing this car?
So my original reason was I was looking for a car that had both luxury and performance, and I was also looking at the BMW M4, and the M4 was also a good contender, but I just felt like it was maybe a little bit too stiff for daily driving, and I just felt like this car just fit that more of that role. Yeah.
Speaking of daily driving, how does it feel driving this thing like every day?
Every day it's a blast to drive. It's naturally aspirated. It's got a big V8. And you just press on the throttle and it just gets going. So the engine is making about 467 horsepower stock, 389 pound-feet of torque. Power-wise, it's up there, but the torque it's a little bit low. It's at 389 compared to like a BMW M4. The torque comes in at like 405, I believe, or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good car though. Yeah, it's got everything. Brakes really well. It's got 6-piston Brembo brakes up in the front, 4-piston rear Brembo brakes. This thing bites, yeah, like a monster. You just press on just a little bit on the brake pedal and it'll stop you.
Have you done any modifications to it?
Modifications so far, I've only done muffler and resonator delete. Other than that, everything else is all stock, and I got an aftermarket carbon fiber rear wing to help with the downforce and the weight.
So interior, I feel like this is a lot like the IS350 I reviewed before, but this one has a cool seat on it.
Yeah, it does. It has the F-specific seats for this car.
How does it ride though?
The ride is actually pretty nice. Its suspension quality is really nice. More tuned on the softer side, more for daily driving. But I think you'll still be fine with driving this like hard on the track.
It is set up as a Grand Tourer, right?
Yeah, it's like a GT car.
It's
yeah.
Supposed to be comfortable with performance in mind. Let's just get into the car and see how it goes. My window should be up. Alright, first impression. The seat does like kind of get in my way whenever I was like turning. My elbow will hit it.
Yeah, the bolstering on the side is pretty intense. Oh my goodness.
Alright, yeah, the overall like ride quality is pretty good. And then I also feel like in this car, I only step on like 10% of the throttle. Like it's eager to move.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
A lot of people say that with their first impressions when they drive on the car and stuff and put it in like normal mode or whatever, like eco mode, it's kind of sluggish, if anything. It doesn't get moving until you really press down on the pedal a lot.
Right.
But that can easily be fixed if you put it in Sport S or Sport S Plus mode. That would just lighten up the throttle response a little bit. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I daily a Camry, so
yeah,
it doesn't really feel that sluggish to me. So let's switch into Sport. Right now it's Sport.
Better.
Definitely more sound to it.
Yeah.
This car is straight pipe, or
yeah, it's not fully straight piped. So far, what I've done to it only is muffler and resonator deletes. That's all I've done for exhaust. Everything else is pretty much stock wise. It's on stock tires, stock rims. I just added a little carbon fiber parts here and there, like in the rear spoiler from Saibon. It's an aftermarket. It's in the style of OEM.
Right.
How's the cornering? It's the G-force is pretty nice, huh? It's like when you can really feel the G-force.
You can feel it's like building up to its limits gradually.
It's a very heavy car, but at the same time, it has a lot of good grip.
In terms of like handling capability, so far I haven't gone on it yet, but it can handle like more than a G.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Extra like spot welding for the chassis too.
Right, yeah.
It's gonna be more rigid.
Yeah, it's got so like another thing, like I said before, the rear seats don't fold down. That's because it's got an extra suspension brace in the rear.
Right.
It's preventing from the rear seats from folding down, but it's just to help you, give you that extra grip and that cornering in those turns. In this car particularly, since it's got the weight and it doesn't have that much torque compared to the rest of the competition, you typically want to keep the gears in a lower gear.
Right.
So I would probably say like second
second?
Yeah, all the way down to second gear.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'll try it out.
That part peak power. You got to be in that peak power band. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. It really gets going.
It is linear, the power delivery.
Yeah.
I feel like this way, it's a lot like more predictable.
Yeah.
So that you can
For
like
sure.
be more willing to push to its limits.
Right.
For people that knows well about this car, they can probably like drive it faster than Camaro
Oh yeah.
around the track.
For sure. Yeah.
Maybe the bumps here. Oh.
Handles those bumps really well.
Yeah. It really absorbs them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one cool thing about this car. It's like whenever you're not getting on it, the car is just, you know, it feels premium, it feels good.
Yeah.
And then when you get on it, it can provide you with the like equal amount of performance you anticipated.
Yeah, for sure. Because I did test drive a BMW before purchasing this car.
Right.
And one thing I noticed in that car is it has a really stiff setup. Like in that way, when you're driving it daily on the public roads,
Yep.
just like in city driving, the ride can get a little bit harsh.
True.
Get a little bit harsh, you know. But in this car, its suspension tuning is more on the softer side, but it's still not too soft to the point where you're gonna get a lot of body roll. In this car, you know, you can handle quite a lot of G-force.
Yep. Third gear. Ooh. Alright. The shift. It sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds really good. This car will really grip. You'll be able to handle a G easily.
This is really good. The body rigidity, it's definitely there.
Yeah.
I haven't even pushed on it that hard because it's, you know, foggy and rainy today. But I can definitely feel that.
Grips really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Touch of brakes here. Do it in second. Want to hear how good is it? Brake right here. Laying into the corners. Wes, how do you feel about it?
I feel good. Yeah, it handles.
There's a car in front. Oh, so far so good.
Yep. Yeah, it really, you can feel that grip from the tires.
Yep.
It really holds you in place. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Another got a car in front.
Yep. We'll pull it to the side.
I will say one thing about this car is since it is heavy, you will notice some understeer, but it's very good at the limit.
It's pretty minimal,
Yeah.
like from my experience here. Right now it's manual first gear, second gear. That car's going hard.
Yeah.
Edge ST. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I can feel the understeer just a little bit. There's a cop here. No cops here. Second gear, second gear. Don't want to scare the guys there, but
Oh yeah.
they know how to do it. It's 100. That is 100.
Damn. Yep.
Braking hard into the corners. It's not even that hard actually. Oh, the car's not leaning at all.
Yeah.
It actually is better at handling than the STI S209.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yep. Oh, it is much better. This, you know, is the reason why it's 80 grand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the extra, you know, they put like a heavy engine in front of it, but they also did so much work on the chassis and you know, all the brakes and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
To make it as a comprehensive package.
Yeah. And it's basically got everything together. It's got the power, it's got the luxury.
Right.
So definitely more on the luxury side, if anything, but
True.
it's, you know what you're getting for this money. It's a high performance luxury vehicle.
Yep.
You know?
And also, I don't feel like it's heavier than the Mustang, like just from driving wise. You know, like
I
on
think
the
that's
paper.
from all the suspension work tuning. That's just all suspension tuning right there, because on paper, it is heavier.
It is heavier,
And you
but
cannot deny that. It comes in around 39 100 pounds.
Close to 4,000.
Almost 4,000, yeah. But with the muffler and resonator delete, it should probably be closer to about 3,900 pounds. And yeah, all the modes. I think personally for me,
Sport mode.
Sport S mode works the best. Sport S Plus does work really well, but I feel like if you really go into a track, you can put in that mode. But for Sport S, I think just for daily driving, I think Sport S is perfect. It's good enough, yeah.
You have to be careful about the throttle because it can like shift the weight pretty abruptly.
Yeah, it can.
Even though it's linear, you know.
I will say this: the car kind of has a tendency, once you get hard on it, has a kind of tendency to roll into things.
Roll into things?
Kind of roll into the corner.
What?
Oh, we got some traffic.
Oopsie. Good brakes though.
Yeah, good brakes though. The engineers obviously thought about this, you know.
Right.
Considering the weight of the car, you need some real meaty brakes to stop this car.
It is true.
Yeah, definitely a good car for daily driving and street performance.
Right.
Yeah.
It is true.
Nice.
Oh, the weather clears up.
Oh yeah, cleared up so much.
来到影片总结部分呢，这台 RC F 不但在直线加速上表现相当的杰出，它在转弯的时候呢，也不会因为它1800公斤的车重而感到转弯迟钝，反而是它这台车的底盘结构、性能调教都做得相当的好，让这台车转弯起来呢，有着相当高的过弯极限。操控的表现上真的是让我感到非常惊艳，它呢，当然跟 IS350比起来呢，操控极限高了非常非常的多。但是呢，让我感到更惊艳的是，它竟然比我改过这么多的 ZX 还要开起来更舒适。我觉得它真的是可以让驾驶非常有驾驶信心的一台车。在性能表现上相当杰出的 RC F 呢，在日常使用情形也是相当的不错，乘坐感受相当的舒适，内装组装品质也是非常精良，可以说是一台非常纯正的 Grand Tourer。那在影片最后呢，我也想问大家，你是喜欢这台 RCF 还是喜欢它的竞争对手 M4 或者是 C63 呢？在影片底下留言让我们知道。那么今天的这一期就到这里结束了，请记得帮我们订阅、按赞、分享，让更多人可以看见我们的内容。我们就之后再见了，拜拜。